I was always invisible until I stood up to the principal and became the hero no one expected. Everyone thought I'd never make it to graduation until the day I exposed the school's biggest scandal and became the unlikely hero who changed everything for 4 years at Westlake High. I was the girl no one remembered, marked me absent when I was sitting right in front of them. My yearbook photos had captions like "not pictured," Olivia Chen. Even when I showed up for every retake, my own lab partners would introduce themselves to me multiple times a semester. It wasn't that I was bullied. Bullying requires acknowledgement. I was simply invisible, too quiet to be noticed, too average to stand out. I spent lunches in the library, headphones on, perfecting the art of taking up as little space as possible. Then came senior year and Principal Harmon's Academic Excellence Initiative. Suddenly counselors were removing underperforming students from AP classes. Athletics with Ds were mysteriously receiving Bs. And college recommendation letters came with unofficial price tags. I noticed because my brother Sam, a sophomore with dyslexia, came home crying. They were making him drop AP history because his kind of student brings down school braggers. The next day I overheard Miss Ellis, our guidance counselor, arguing with the principal. He wanted her to remove struggling students to inflate stats, calling it strategic because the board wanted brags up and parents wanted property values up. 2 weeks later, Miss Ellis was taking early retirement. Her replacement was Principal Harmon's sister-in-law. I started collecting evidence. Quiet sheets left in the copy room, emails accidentally sent to student accounts, testimony from confused teachers about grades being changed after submission. I spent months gathering proof, all while remaining forgettably Olivia at the school board meeting where Principal Harmon was presenting Westlake's remarkable academic turnaround. I signed up to speak during public comments. When my name was called, several board members squinted, clearly wondering who I was. I began with a shaking voice, introducing myself and noting that most wouldn't recognize me despite my 4 years at Westlake. I methodically presented my evidence of grade tampering, forced student transfers, and retaliation against objecting teachers. Principal Harmon's face turned crimson. When he tried to dismiss me, I interrupted him, surprising even myself. I spoke about how he treated students like my brother as disposable statistics and turned education into a PR campaign rather than a right. The room fell silent until Miss Ellis, sitting in the back row, stood and started clapping. Others gradually joined her. The investigation took 6 weeks. Principal Harmon resigned. But the real shock came afterward. People knew my name. Mind high-fived me in hallways. Shirley nodded with respect. Juffin taped a handmade sign to my locker. Olivia Chen, the girl who saved Westlake. For our yearbook, they created a new superlative. At graduation, I received a standing ovation. The moment that mattered most came after the ceremony, when Miss Ellis handed me an envelope containing my acceptance to Columbia's journalism program with a note. Sometimes the quietest voice in the room is the one that most needs to be heard. Never stop speaking up. I still have that note pinned above my desk at the newspaper where I now work as an investigative reporter, because I learned that being invisible isn't always a disadvantage. Sometimes it's the perfect cover for seeing what others miss.